Hey everybody, welcome back to Stereoscope Rewind, the podcast where we talk TV, movies, and all the plot twists that make you yell at the screen like it's listening. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Amy, and it is listening. Just so you know.
It is? Well, actually, TVs nowadays probably are listening. Everything listens to us at home now, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know. They need to know what to send you as a consumer, okay, Jeff? They need to know.
Because really, we're just watching the stuff that goes in between the commercials. That's really all we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, remember commercials?
Yes.
And you had to go, and it's like, oh, if this show's on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, you would have to go, and then it's an hour show, but it's really only a 30-minute show because you have 30 minutes of commercials. Now, it's like either you listen 5 seconds to something and you skip it, or there's no commercials, which is just, gosh, what a privilege.
No, I know. I mean, I trust me. I'm definitely the age of someone who had to show up at a certain time or you missed it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just hoped that it reran in the summer. And then you end up watching it in the summer, hoping the episode you missed would show up.
Yeah. And then DVD collections came out.
Yep.
And that's when
DVD
binging started.
Whoa. Let's back it up to the VHS tapes. And then DVD. Look at you, Miss. I'm from the DVD land.
Did you record things on VHS tapes?
Oh, my God. Heck yes.
Oh, okay.
Recently. Like, not recently, but like,
recently.
Yeah.
He's like 2 weeks ago.
No, not 2 weeks ago. Oh, my God, no. No way. Yeah, as early as... as like 2000s, early 2000s. I was probably recording things on VHS tapes.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
2001, 2002. Sure.
Well, you like a good vintage, film concept. So you were just like, I'm hanging on to this.
That's all there was. There was no TiVo really wasn't a thing yet, and that's all we had.
You were still using VHSs in early 2000s, Jeff?
Yeah.
Really?
98. Yeah, 99, sure. Right in there. Actually,
yeah, but that's late 90s. That's not early 2000s.
Well, 2000 is right in there somewhere. I'm trying to think back in my strain of where I lived and what I was doing. Because for a while I had a crazy job where I, back when product placement first started, like when people would be like on TV show and they'd like drink a certain bottle of wine or they'd like, do certain things. Yes, like, oh, a sponsor. I had a job where I literally was watching television. I don't know if I used literally right, but I actually was watching television for the products. And then I'd give reports to companies that would hire me to fast forward through television and figure out if they had it.
How fun.
Yeah, so I had in my bedroom, I had 6 VCRs. And every night I would record from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on each VHS tape. And then I would do a report and at the time I'd watch everything. Some of it was fast forward because you could fast forward through stuff. Like if they were just sitting in a living room or because I knew which companies I had and which products I was looking for. So some of them were like apparel companies. Some of them were drink companies. So they were just sitting in an office or at a courtroom. Fast forward through that. And then you go oh, dinner time. Whoa, dinner. And then you stop and watch the dinner scene to see if your wine company was in there or
wow.
And then the companies that would place the products would tell me okay, we have this episode or this show's really going to use it. So keep an eye on that show. You're like, okay. So for a while I knew about everything on Naruto. I knew there was not a show I was not watching. That was like 5 months of my life.
Gosh.
And I knew if we would be at a party and people were like, have you seen this show? Yeah, I've watched it. Some of it in fast forward, but yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen them all.
I fast forward through all the court scenes, but I've seen it.
Yeah, and people would be like, have you seen everything? Well, that's just who I am.
I have 6 VCRs running at all times.
I just have 6 VCRs running at all times. And it was great because every night at my house, around 7:55, because the trick was to have the VCRs. For those of you listening that had VCRs, you didn't want to start right at 8 because you'd miss something.
Mm-hmm.
So you would definitely have to start the VCRs at 7:55. So that you could get all of the show. Wow. And then NBC for a while, oh my God, now we're just going down the Wayback Train. And then NBC for a while was doing this thing where they offset their shows. So Friends would end at 8:32 or 8:33.
Mm-hmm.
So if you recorded the 8:30 show right at 8:30 to 9, you would lose those 3 or 4 minutes on the other end. So the episode would end and there was no online, there was no streaming site to go get it from.
You couldn't go find it.
No. So then they got into a lot of trouble doing that. And then when TiVo came out, TiVo actually had a setting on it that was like start 5 minutes before, start 5 minutes after. Because where they really got screwed was live events. Because nowadays we're so used to just like YouTube TV,
On
hit
demand.
record, and YouTube TV will record the episode for as long as it's on. Like it knows. Where back in the day, if you recorded the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl went an hour over, or the Oscars was a big one, you'd record the Oscars on TiVo, and it would just end at 11 p.m. and then you'd miss the last three like awards.
The Best Picture award. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, there you go. Wayback Machine with Jeff.
Fun history fact. I don't know.
Oh God, I'm a history fact now.
I don't know. 1998.
That's okay.
That was a long time ago.
It was like yesterday. That's fine. It was yesterday. Oh my goodness, Amy, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good week.
Good week. Busy week.
Still married?
Still married.
Good job. All right.
I
Fantastic.
will be married 2
week
weeks
2, everybody.
tomorrow.
Week 2.
Week 2. We're almost through it. Still married.
Good job. Good job. High five.
Thanks.
No problem.
Wait, we'll just.
Okay, yeah. High five to you.
Yeah, having a good week. It was a busy one, and
good.
no complaints. I'm just, here. Favorite day of the week where we get to record.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I love it, and yeah, I'm just having the best time. So I hope people are enjoying this. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a really nice time doing
Me
this.
too. I'm totally enjoying it. I always look forward to my afternoon with Amy.
Afternoon with Jeffrey.
Oh, man, that's our next podcast. Afternoon with Jeff and Amy.
Well, and we're talking about some really cool stuff today. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to start a series of Lights, Camera, Answers. We're going to go in, and for the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to do some shorter episodes so people can get involved and listen to our show. And we're going to do fun topics and talk about our favorites this or our most iconic that. And today is Lights, Camera, Answers number 2. And we're talking iconic deaths that shook us in TVs or movies. Iconic deaths.
I have been shooketh.
Have you been shooketh?
Shooketh. I think I heard Jeffree Star say that once, and I really liked it.
You've been shooketh?
I'm shooketh.
All right, so I have a few. I don't know if we talked about how many we were doing or whatever. Like, what do you got? Like, do you have like one?
Did 1, 2, I did 4.
I have 4 also. Let's see if any of them match. Look at us.
Look at us go.
I mean, I have 4 real ones, and then I have a shout out at the end. We'll shout out, but
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I think you should start, Jeff. What's your?
I will start.
And these aren't rated 1 through 4.
No, none of these are rated. Yeah. It's things that came to mind when I was thinking about it, and of course I had to go back through kind of the list of movies to think about them. Yeah. Because like you can't remember it all.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure we missed some, but
Of course we did. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "What about this?" And I'll be like, "I can't do it all, people. I can do some of it, but not all of it."
Okay.
Okay. So crazy one that came to mind for me was it was Ned Stark from Game of Thrones. Did I steal one of yours?
Dang it, Jeff!
That's all right. We can talk. We'll talk about it.
All right, you tell me your perspective, and then I'll tell you mine. How about that?
Yeah. Well, Game of Thrones season 1, episode 9. The thing that shocked me the most about that, because up until that point, TV was very formulaic. Like the heroes didn't lose, and when they did, they always fought back. That was a time, like. That's what TV was. Like you didn't kill heroes, and when you did, it was a big deal. Like MASH was one of the first shows to really take down a big character. Henry Blake was a character that they killed. He died in a plane crash on the show after season 1, and not even the cast knew that he died in the show. So when they told the cast on the scene, they all didn't know it was going to happen.
Oh no!
So that was probably one of the biggest ones. So to me, after that one, I'm sure there were others, but that one was a big deal. So Ned Stark, because he was the guy. He was the anchor. He was the North Star to that family, to the episode, to the show. He was the moral compass. And it brought in that new era of no one is safe. Not a soul. I don't care how much you love a character. I don't care if they're perfect. No one's safe.
Yes.
Tell me about Ned Stark.
Same. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the show when it was coming out. So I didn't watch it because I get a little weird with some shows where if they get super, super popular, a rebellious part of me wants to wants to find like a
Yeah.
gem or a diamond in the
That,
rough.
that show's not cool. Whatever. I
Oh
don't
my God.
care.
I love it
Whatever.
though.
Whatever.
I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones
Yeah.
now. But at the time I was like, "Nah, everybody's watching that. I'll watch it later, or
Yeah.
maybe not at all." And so I had surgery and it was right before the last season came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was home for a month.
Oh
And so
gosh.
yeah, and so finally I sat down and I binge watched the whole series. But
Wow.
my little brother was a Game of Throner and he had watched them when they came out and he said, "Don't get attached to anybody."
Okay.
And
Oh,
I
he
was
kind of
like,
pre-warned you a little bit. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he said, "Don't get attached to anyone." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, sure."
Yeah.
And then as soon as that happened, I was like, "Well, god damn, he's right. I can't get attached to anyone." And then it's like, no one's safe. What's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen? And I just, yeah, I thought it was a great way to end the first season because you're like, oh, no,
Yeah.
what's going to happen? So, yes, agreed on the Ned Stark.
Yeah, I watched it similar to you, where I did not watch season 1 when it came out. I don't know if I can't remember my total reasons for that, but I definitely didn't see it for live every week. And luckily, it was a time in the world where we weren't as connected, so you don't know all the spoilers.
Right.
And then finally, season 2 was coming, and I was just like, "Fine, I'll check out Game of Thrones." And I remember sitting and, "Okay, fine, fine." And I remember sitting in my house, like a similar thing, where like you just kept waiting for the sword to like not fall, or like save the day, or they pull him out of there.
Come.
Something's gonna come. Arrow's gonna take down the dude with the sword, like from a distance, like, and out of nowhere his head just falls, and you're just like, "What the? Oh my god!"
Nope.
Poor Ned Stark.
Gosh, and then it just Red Wedding, all these things, everything from then on was just like, yeah, nobody's safe.
Oh yeah,
totally agree.
Never trusted anybody. Like anybody on that show, you'd be like, "Oh, is this it? Oh, is this it?"
Gosh, we could just do an iconic death that shook us just with the Game of Thrones
I know.
series.
Hodor, hold the door, hold the door.
Oh my God,
Hodor. Oh my God. So many.
Hodor.
But definitely Ned Stark. One, because I did shock and had to pause for a minute and be like, "Holy crap!"
Wow.
And then also it just changed television forever. And that one swing of a sword.
Gosh.
Or
agreed.
Was it a hatchet? Or was it a sword? It was a big giant sword.
It was a sword.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you go. So I don't take some of yours.
Well, wouldn't that be great if we just had all the same ones?
All the exact same ones. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, I don't think you'll have this one, so I'm going to tell you this one.
Okay.
Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Ah, I thought about that one, but I was like, it didn't make my list. That's a good one.
Yeah, sacrificing himself for Jax.
Yep.
They're staring at each other through the glass window.
Yeah.
And Jax is just horrified that Opie did that for him. And Mike actually stopped watching Sons of Anarchy after that.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Mike's ability to be like, "I'm pissed at this show. This isn't happening anymore. I'm out.
I'm done.
Out."
So,
totally out.
But yeah, that was a big one for me where I was just like, no. And obviously people also die in that show.
Totally.
But to have, that's his best friend. And it was just,
that one,
it was so sad.
Yeah, you were the reason I watched that show. Because
that's right.
When we were working together, I had never seen a lick. And you were like, "You should watch that."
Poor Jeff's like, "I need to take breaks in between some of this stuff."
Yeah. And then I would come into work the next day and be like, "Where are you at right now?" I'm like, Sons of Anarchy's in the timeout box right now because I can only handle so much of it at once because it's a lot.
It's heavy.
Take. It's one of those shows you needed the long week to like get revved up for it. Watching 5 of those back to back, that just that wore me out.
Heavy.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. That's one of the only things I don't like about the new streaming world is sometimes shows need air to breathe, and
sure.
You're like, no, oh god, another one. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. R.I.P. Opie.
R.I.P. Opie.
It was a while ago, but
it doesn't matter. Still, it came forward in the thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's number 2 for you, Jeff?
Okay, number 2 is it was from Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
And it was a kind of movie where, as a movie fan, you knew somebody was going to die.
Mm.
If you were a fan of movies, you knew somebody was dying, but did not know my man, Iron Man, Tony Stark. Who'd you say?
I said Spider-Man?
No, Iron Man, Tony Stark when he's wearing the thing and he snaps his fingers.
I know.
And he just poof. It's just like that one got me. Out of all the characters to take down, I thought for sure one, like, why would they take him down? Because they could bring him back later. Because I mean, I knew Marvel was gonna. I mean, that seemed like the end of Marvel, but we all know it's not now.
No.
And I just thought that, why Tony Stark? There's so many other medium characters you could have just made go, but I swang for the fences on that one.
Man, and then they put his little chess piece thing into the lake, and they floated out. Ugh.
Yeah, that whole scene where the whole cast was at the cabin has one of my favorite moments. One of my favorite moments when his driver Happy was with his
daughter.
Or was it his daughter? Okay,
yeah.
Look at me. I'm such a big fan. Thank you, Amy.
You can still feel emotional in that scene and not know. There's a lot of characters in
There's
those
a lot
movies.
to deal with. Anyways, Tony's child, his daughter, was sitting there, and she says something like, something about burgers, and Happy's like, I can take you to get burgers. And
I know.
It was just,
Then he's like, your dad liked cheeseburgers.
Yeah, your dad liked cheeseburgers.
Gosh, so sad.
So yeah, that one got me. Iron Man was always my favorite. There was a lot of characters in that thing, but I love two reasons. Iron Man was my favorite because I just loved his character, and I loved the way he just did not care about anything else with Tony Stark. And then I loved that it was the big comeback for Robert Downey Jr. Like he was doing stuff, but not big stuff. And that movie just shoved him right out in front again. Because I've always been a big fan of him.
Mm-hmm. The Avengers movies are good. I enjoy those too.
Yes.
So yes, very sad for Tony Stark.
Yeah, your dad liked cheeseburgers. Oh.
You're like, oh no.
Oh no, stop. You're not happy right now. All right, what do you got, Amy?
I have two different deaths.
Oh.
From the same. My 3 and 4 are from the same family of movies.
Okay.
But not the same movie.
All right.
So one that got me, and I just binged all these movies again, but Dobby from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because, and he was just such a fun character, and he saves them multiple times, and he's, just wants to be treated like an equal.
Mm-hmm.
And he said I wrote it down because I couldn't remember exactly the words, but he says, such a beautiful place to be with friends. Dobby is happy to be with his friend Harry Potter. And I was just like,
That's good. I like that.
It just, he gets stabbed by Bellatrix Lestrange, and it's just they're on the beach, and they almost get out, and they almost make it, and it's just really, really sad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Dobby.
I know. It made me
Dobby
very
has
sad.
socks.
Yeah. Master has given Dobby a sock. Dobby is a free elf.
Dobby is a free elf. Dobby has a sock.
So and especially because I just watched them again. So it got me.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good one.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3, this one made the list because I just watched it the other day. It was on TV and I got caught watching it, but was the original Hunger Games movie.
I've only seen those once.
Okay. I've seen them a couple times, but the one that got me was Rue. When Rue and Katniss are running through the woods together.
That's the little one, right?
That's the little girl.
Uh-huh.
And Rue gets caught. Rue is part of Katniss's little team.
Yes.
And they're doing the thing where they're going to blow up all the supplies. And then Rue is going to run through the woods, to light fires so that the bad, the District 1s and the District 2s, that little mob will come after them. Mm-hmm. Then she could blow up the stuff. And then she comes back and finds Rue in the trap. And then she cuts Rue down.
Aww.
And then you think everything's fine. It was just how they did it. It was everything was fine. Everything was good. I remember watching the movie the first time and everything was good. And you thought, all right, they did their thing. This is going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. And then the guy comes out of nowhere and throws the spear at Katniss, and Rue is right behind her.
Ooh.
And Katniss takes the guy down with the bow and arrow. And then the spear goes right into Rue and just kills Rue.
Oh, no.
And it was just the way Katniss was crushed and she's just crying. And it's she had a partner. She had a teammate, because I know eventually the idea of the game is everyone needs to die. But up to that point, there were so many participants left, they could have at least been a team for a while and then figured something out if Rue had stayed alive. And from District, was it 11? Yeah, District 10, I think Rue was from. But it was just that scene. It wasn't the one that shook me, but it definitely was a scene where I was watching it the other day and I was like, that's understated. I don't people talk about Rue enough because she was just so cool. And then Katniss like puts her on the ground with the flowers around her, and and then that basically is the beginning of the uprising. Spoiler alert: that movie sold. Okay. There you go. It's not as crazy as others, but I do love me some. That one got me. The other day I was just watching. I was like, oh my God. Totally forgot about this. This is so sad. Rue, she's so adorable. She's so helpful. She helps Katniss back to life. Oh, Katniss is crushed.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
It's okay. I'll bounce back. I'll be all right. These people are not real, Amy.
I know, but it's still
It
sad.
feels like it sometimes. It feels like it.
Dobby's literally an animated character, and I was almost in tears the other day. And I've seen it. I know what happens.
That's the worst, is when you get sad every time that it happens.
Yeah. I was watching it with my friend Corey, and she was like, is this one where Sirius Black dies? Is this the one where Dobby dies? Is this the one where Dumbledore dies? And I'm like, yes, no, yes. Like, oh, and then she's, what did she say? Is it time? And I'm like, not yet. We're not there yet.
Not there yet.
She's like, oh, okay. Ugh. Okay, so number 4, let's just roll off the Dobby thing.
I'm ready.
Different, it's from the Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire, okay, back to Harry Potter. Yes.
Where Cedric Diggory dies.
Okay, yeah.
And for me, his death isn't so, I mean, it's sad. Robert Pattinson, Cedric Diggory, he dies, right? We want him to stick around.
Right.
But, it's his father's reaction.
Oh, okay.
That gets me. So Harry brings him back. I know you're not a big Harry Potter fan, but
I'm not letting you do your thing. I've seen them all, but I don't watch them as much as
so essentially Voldemort kills Cedric, or has Cedric killed by Wormtail. Harry has this whole thing, and then Harry ports them back to the end of this competition.
Right.
So they land, and everyone starts cheering because they think, oh, Cedric and Harry made it back. Like, they're fine.
Right.
Well, Harry's on top of Cedric, crying and just distraught from it. And then everyone starts realizing, like, oh, Cedric's not doing so hot. And his dad comes down, and he's just screaming bloody murder. My boy, this is my boy, my boy. And the way that he's just screaming with so much agony.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God. And it's, probably the best, I say best loosely, but the best tragic reaction from someone because of a death.
Yeah, totally.
And again, I've been living in Harry Potter land. We binge watched that and Fantastic Beasts last weekend, so I'm like in it. But yeah. So that's my number 4.
No, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember that one as much, but I know you love the Harry Potter.
No, I'm sorry, Jeff. I should have picked non-Harry Potter.
No, you can pick Harry Potter ones. I like that answer. There's not. I mean, that's anytime you have the deaths where kids die and the parents are involved is always crushing. That's one of the pains that that's not a good pain. That's not a good pain in movie land or in real life. That is, I can't even imagine. So,
all right, what's number 4 for you?
All right, mine was the movie Up, and the way. Have you seen the movie Up?
I've seen it once.
You've seen it once. Mine is just the wife, Ellie Fredrickson. Just that whole sequence in the beginning, where they're like talking, and you kind of know what the movie's about, but you didn't know that Disney was going to come in just to rip your heart out with their amazing like relationship, and you see the whole thing until they get old, and you're just kind of like, oh, life is short. Thanks for that, Disney. Thanks for the help. Okay, copy that. All right, great. Oh, so it didn't shake me, but it was like, that's pretty sad. Like that whole scene. And then the course, the movie is pretty funny. I am Doug Squirrel. So they redeem themselves, but Ellie Fredrickson, that's pretty sad.
Yep. Do you have any other deaths?
My shout out, Joel, Pedro Pascal. Pour one out.
Oh, yes.
I know that's recent, but still, I had to pour one out for Pedro one more time.
Absolutely.
I think we talk about Pedro every week. We should have a moment. We should have a Pedro moment.
I don't want to relive that. But that was shocking. It was
It
just
was
like,
shocking.
well, not well. It was
Well,
shocking
it was
for you
shocking
when
for
you
me
were
the
playing
first
the
time.
game.
Yeah, it was shocking when
Yes.
I played the game. Yes.
Yeah, when you played
Yeah.
the game, and
Not
then
Pedro, just Joel in general.
and Jeff just like in the shadows, like, when is Amy gonna see this?
Just like, it's coming.
It's coming. She's gonna be so devastated.
And I watched episode 1, and I remember being in episode 1 being like, nope, not this week. And I was like, maybe next week. And then I saw the previews, and I was like, yep, next week. It'll be next week.
Oh, poor Pedro.
And I'm
Yeah,
like, Amy's like, oh boy, we get to watch another one. And I'm like, yes, we do.
good luck with this one. Oh yes,
man.
that did shake me, but
Yeah.
we've been talking about that for 7 weeks, but agreed.
Yeah, agreed. I had to throw a little shout out to Joel.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome anytime. I
Yeah.
always love talking about me some Joel and Pedro Pascal.
So those were our most iconic deaths that shook us, Jeff.
I know. I liked it. I liked our list.
Me too.
Yeah. If you guys are listening, throw in the comments. What were some that we may have missed? Maybe some that we should know about, and maybe some we should check out. Maybe we haven't seen them yet. So throw that in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, 5-star, do all the things. It helps us get noticed. It helps us get seen. So like and subscribe, Amy, right?
Right. Do it. And thank you for rewinding with us. Toodaloo.